Fixer family, it's Charmin. Welcome to Fixin' 2. Here's what we need for this cute spring decor piece. We're going to be using some leftover florals. I also printed out a decal using my silhouette. It says Hello Spring. I have this little chipboard truck that I've had since Christmas. And I picked up this a while back at the thrift store. It's a framed chalkboard. I'm also going to be using a few of those little wood cubes from the Crafter Square at Dollar Tree. Some buttons, my decorative glaze from Rust-Oleum, red and black acrylic paint, my white Waverly chalk paint, and of course hot glue. Now with this chalkboard that I picked up at the thrift store, it is super cute the way that it is, and I have used it a little bit, but I wanted to warm it up a bit, and so I'm going to be using my gel stain and just kind of darkening up the frame a bit. Now I know that it doesn't necessarily need it, it's preference, but I really wanted to warm it up a bit, especially with what we're going to be putting on the chalkboard. Wanted to make sure that what I put on it popped. So once I got it on there and kind of rubbed off the excess, I wanted to go ahead and tape off the chalkboard a little bit because around the inside edges you can kind of see right down here where the you can still see the light color of the wood. Wanted to go ahead and get that stained. Now that we got it all taped off, we're ready to go ahead and stain those inside edges. And then I'm also going to stain around the outside edges as well. Now you can go ahead and stain the back of it if you want to, but I decided not to. So now it's time to prepare our truck. Now as you see, this truck of course was from Christmas. And so I'm going to pop off this little tree that's in the back, but be super careful. This chipboard wood is easy to splinter, and you'll see here when I turned it over, that glue that was on there was really good and it started to splinter. So I had to kind of work it on this side and then wound up having to cut what I had lifted. But then I took some hot glue and just kind of pushed that back down to kind of secure what didn't break off, and it was fine. But do be very, very careful. And we'll just put this tree away to use another day. Now also too, the front fender was crooked, and so I was real careful and pried that off. That came off a little bit easier, and it left some glue here, so I'm just going to use the sandpaper to kind of get that excess glue that will be above it once I straighten it out when I put it back on. So I just wanted to make sure that it was smooth for when we get ready to paint our truck. So once I got it all smoothed out, just took my hot glue and put it right back on there straight this time. Sometimes they come made that way and you just have to either work with it or, if you can, fix it up a little bit. So I was able to do that. Now we're ready to paint our truck. And so the only red that I had on hand was my Craft Smart acrylic paint in the color Holiday Red. And I wanted this red truck to be more of a deeper red. Now what I did here was I just added a drop of black to it, and it turned it burgundy on purpose, because this is more of like what I call a primer. I guess you could say you don't need primer for this, but I definitely wanted a darker undertone. So I went on and put one coat of my burgundy color on it and got all of the edges painted really good. And then I'm going to go back in with the Holiday Red. And I'm going to put 2 coats of this on the paint, I should say on the truck. And what that does is that darker color underneath really makes this holiday red look more deeper, more rich. And of course used my little hair dryer here to speed up the drying process. So now I'm just ready to go ahead and paint my truck tires black. And we're going to do something super cute to these tires to really make this start to become, I guess you can kind of say, alive, make it look like a real truck, sort of. But anyway, we just go in painting the wheels, and of course remember to always get your edges, because wherever you're putting it, you don't want to show any of the wood. So here's where the buttons come in. I grabbed 2 of the larger size buttons that I had, and some silver acrylic paint that I have, some metallics. It's a folk art metallic. And I'm just going to paint these buttons silver. And guys, these turned out so cute. These really and truly look like hubcaps to me when you put them on the truck. So I'm going to go ahead and put 2 coats onto the button, drying of course in between each coat to make sure that these really get that silver look to it. And we're going to go ahead and add these to our truck. And I'm telling you, this really started to come together. I love my little red trucks. Yes, I do. So one good thing about this high temperature hot glue, it gives you time to move things around just a little bit to make sure that you're getting them in place, you know, as even as you can. So now we're ready to put a few little finishing touches on the truck itself. And this is where my white Waverly chalk paint comes in. And I'm just taking a more sturdy bristle brush, paintbrush, putting a little bit of the paint on there and just dry brushing some, I guess, some high points, you know, just kind of some edges, and really bring this truck to life, guys. I think this truck turned out so stinking cute. Let me know down in the comment section below what you think of my little red truck. So easy to accomplish, let me tell you. So now we are going to take our little cubes. Now these come in a pack. I'm not sure exactly how many's in the pack, but from the Crafter Square at the Dollar Tree. And we're going to glue these in 4 spots, kind of behind each tire and then kind of up above that. And what we're doing is creating kind of like a 3-dimensional look to my truck, because we are going to be putting those beautiful flowers in the back of the truck. And we're going to be using some craft sticks to kind of create a little box in the back so that we can put some of our floral foam in it. Now on this bottom one, I just took and cut off both ends of it, and it was the perfect size. And I painted the bottom and the edge, and then of course we'll go in and touch up any part that wasn't painted. And then we're going to create one for the back end of the truck. So I'm going to take a little bit of glue, just a very small thin line right at the edge, and then we're going to take and ease it up underneath the bottom of the truck. And the reason I wanted to do it after I put the squares on, because we wanted it to sit just perfectly flush to the whatever you're going to place it on, and this of course being the chalkboard. So we glue it on there, and then of course we're going to go in and touch up where you see that raw wood. Now let's go ahead and make the back side of the truck. Again, just cutting off that rounded end to make it flat. And then I'm just going to kind of eyeball measure where I need it in the back. And once I get that measured and cut where I need it, then I'm going to go in and paint it exactly the same way I did the piece we put underneath. Now we're ready to measure our floral foam for it to go in the back of the truck. And I just easily just make sure that the truck is on the chalkboard, laying the foam flat to the chalkboard, and I'm using a little craft knife to kind of score it right there at the edge of the truck. So then I'm going to take just a regular knife and cut it straight down to get that piece. And then you'll see that I measure it in the sense of putting the truck there, cutting a little here, cutting a little there, until I get it exactly where I want it in the back of the truck, ready to receive some florals. Now that our floral foam is in the back of our truck, we're ready to glue this to our chalkboard. And I'm just taking those wood blocks that we had put on the back. I'm taking those, putting some hot glue on there, and then just kind of getting it on there closer to the one side of my board and getting it level on there as best as possible. And the reason we're putting it towards one side of the board is because we're going to have our little sign up in the top left-hand corner. And now it's just time to put your flowers in the back of the truck. And I started out with some little greenery sprigs that I had from these florals, and all of these florals came from the Dollar Tree. Just pieces and parts I had left over from other projects, and just easing them down in there. And of course, you just kind of have to work it just a little bit to get those to stick down in that floral foam, but it works. And you just make it however you want to, adding whatever you want. And it just turned out so stinking cute. I just love this. Now that all the flowers are in there that I wanted, we're going to create a little sign to go right up here in the left-hand corner using balsa wood. Now, we're also going to be cutting this balsa wood with my miter box. Now, this balsa wood strips you can get from Home Depot, relatively inexpensive, and these strips are 3.5 inches wide, and we're going to be cutting off 4 inches of it. And using the miter box, it's going to be super easy. And of course, our little decal fits right in there. So we're just going to slide in our wood and begin to cut it away. And of course, once you get it cut, you want to make sure that you sand all of your edges really well, because it will have a little bit of splinter to it, but it's super easy to smooth out with a piece of sandpaper. I went ahead and I stained off both sides and all 4 edges there and let it dry. And we're also going to be using a piece of Velcro. Now guys, you can use a command strip that has the Velcro, or a regular command strip. You can use the peel and stick Velcro. It's whatever you have on hand. This is just what I had on hand. And I'll show you what we're going to do with the Velcro here in just a minute. So right now we're going to go ahead and we're going to get this centered onto our little block here. And go ahead and get this stuck down really well using our little tool. And again, you can use a credit card or a used gift card or something, and they work just fine. This is just something I've had on hand for a long time. And then we'll go ahead and peel back our transfer tape, and now we have our little sign that says Hello Spring. So cute. So go ahead, grab your little tool there and make sure that it's good and stuck. And now we're going to take our Velcro, and I'm using some hot glue to stick mine down, but we're going to go ahead and stick this at the top on the back. And what this is going to do is this is going to allow us to change out for the seasons. Changing for the different holidays and creating some super cute interchangeable decor for your home. Now, of course, it was a little lopsided because of the frame, so I found this foam that I had from an old picture, and I'm just going to glue that to the bottom to help kind of lift that up. But the neat thing is we can make different signs, and we can put different stuff in the back of the truck. Like for Thanksgiving, Happy Thanksgiving, and some pumpkins in the back, or a Christmas tree in the back for Christmas. And just on and on. I mean, it's endless here. So now we're going to just put a little bit of hot glue on the other side of our Velcro, and we're going to stick it down. And there you have it, a cute interchangeable decor piece for your home. Hope that you guys enjoyed this project as much as I did. I love little red trucks, and I just think that this turned out absolutely amazing. And I am so excited about the fact that this can be changed for all seasons and all the holidays. Putting a sign up there for Thanksgiving with pumpkins in the back, just all different kinds of things that you can do with this little red truck. Now, to give you guys just a few reminders, one of which, make sure that you are checking the community tab. I will bring announcements to you of all kinds of things that are happening here on Fixin' To. And also, don't forget to mark your calendars for March the 5th. I have been accepted as a contestant on the Creative Champion Contest hosted by my friend Heidi Sambol, and I don't want you to miss a single one of these videos. It is going to be so much fun, and you guys get an opportunity to vote. And so make sure that you have hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you're notified when these videos go live. So if no one has told you today, you are amazing, and always remember to keep looking up, because that's where it all is. I'll see you on the next video.